Oh my god, isn't this squid almost like a Cthulhu monster? The moment they hauled it up, it splattered ink all over the fishermen. But after so many years at sea, these difficulties were nothing to them. They quickly got it under control. Of course, with such an incredible catch, their equipment was also top-notch. I initially thought it was just a fish hook, but it looked more like some kind of deadly weapon with its barbed hooks that almost guarantee the squid won't escape once hooked. Though the method is quite brutal, the fluorescent bottom part emits light in the water, serving as half a float, and the most important bait surprisingly turned out to be a bunch of squid tentacles, truly using the wool from the sheep itself. Once everything was ready, they started fishing in earnest. The sky was ominously dark, hinting at an impending storm, so they had to catch as many fish as possible before it arrived. The fishermen, fully armed, pulled the fishing lines vigorously, barely exposing any skin. If you didn't know better, you'd think they were studying some biochemical weapon. In reality, it was just to prevent the squid from squirting ink, which is difficult to clean off. Soon enough, their gear proved its worth as they dragged in a massive creature, causing a violent splash on the sea surface during its struggle. Without protective gear, the fishermen would have been soaked. Not only that, they bravely pulled up the unruly squid onto the deck. It's hard to believe it's a squid. Looks like it weighs at least 40 kilograms. I wonder how such a large squid tastes. Any brothers who've eaten one, let me know. But the fishermen couldn't afford to deal with it now. Taking advantage of the good fishing conditions, they quickly threw out more baited hooks. Their luck continued, with almost instant bites. Looks like their hard work today might let them retire early. However, this squid was less cooperative than the last one. It first sprayed a liter of ink when pulled up. The next one was even more mischievous, squirting wildly onto the deck. But the fishermen couldn't afford to get angry now. They had plenty of chances to discipline it. The urgency was to continue fishing. In no time, they hauled in another big squid, clearly hitting them while they were schooling for food, resulting in such a haul. Today's haul was surprisingly easy. In just a few minutes, they had over 100 kilograms of fish. Meanwhile, their companion also had a thrilling catch. Though fewer than the others, he had already hooked the big squids. He was now grappling with one underwater, turning the sea black in a large area. No doubt, another heavyweight catch. After a few seconds of tugging, the squid was pulled up. This guy's belly was so swollen, it felt like he could squirt ink on his face anytime. Scared, the fisherman quickly let it go and caught another. In no time, they could land 8 big squids. It's hard to imagine if they fought until night whether this small boat could still hold them. Their boldness only increased as they continued. Now, their speed in catching fish no longer satisfied them. They started pulling into it a time as if performing a magic trick. However, the weather was about to turn, and they didn't have much time left. They needed to maximize their catch quickly, so they increased the stakes, doubling the thickness of squid tentacles on each hook and using a double hook fishing method. They threw the lines out, hoping to increase their chances, though more hooks also meant more burden in complex water conditions. Luckily, their luck was excellent today. In no time, they felt the heavy tug again. No doubt another big haul. The fisherman pulled the rope, but this squid was as strong as an ox. It might take a while to haul it up. As the fisherman leaned over to see, the squid suddenly sprayed ink. Thankfully, the fisherman dodged it in time, extended his arms, and used all his strength to bring the squid down. It seems catching squid not only requires strength but also tests reflexes. This time, the squid on the hook was even bigger, probably the largest one so far. It looked thicker than the fisherman's upper body, nearly 1 meter and 3 centimeters long, and weighed close to 50 kilograms. To keep it as fresh as possible, they cut its nerves the moment it was hauled up. The red fish body instantly turned pale as snow. Truly amazing. In the blink of an eye, the deck was covered with a layer of catch, but their harvesting pace didn't slow down. Meanwhile, good luck wasn't constant. Look, this big squid just escaped, leaving the fishermen with an empty hook. Fortunately, their experience kept them unfazed, and they quickly threw the hook back into the sea. After another hour of battle, they finally could rest and display their catch. Just look, any 2 squids are over 1 meter long. The boat was almost full, but they weren't stopping. With another skilled move, the fishermen separated the head and body of the squids, cleaned them thoroughly, removed the useless parts, leaving only the edible portions. Finally, they placed them one by one in the hold, covered them with a large bag of ice, ensured the hold was tightly sealed, and everything was finally settled. They were about to call it a day when suddenly the weather cleared up. It seemed even God wanted them to strike it rich. How could they miss this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity? So the fishermen rolled up their sleeves and got back to work. This big squid was also a heavyweight, almost like a gas cylinder. When the fisherman threw it onto the boat, it unexpectedly started spraying him again. He must be tasting ink every time he takes a breath now. But in the face of such a bountiful harvest, these were just minor inconveniences. In no time, they had a few more big squids in their hands. While others displayed their catch by holding them, they could barely manage with their hands. This dense catch on the big boat, I wonder what price they could fetch. Stay tuned, and I'll bring you to discover a new world every day.